Yes, driving on Highway 65 is an absolute horror show. Can't stand it. I mean, I've lived in Blaine my whole life, and the entire time I've been able to drive, I have avoided Highway 65. I mean, I once waited 12 minutes to turn south on Highway 65 from 109th. And I know I'm not alone, which is why fixing Highway 65, number one priority. Number one by a mile. I mean, it's the biggest issue facing Blaine by a lot. And Blaine is the fastest growing city in the metro right now, which explains why it's gotten so bad. Our roads haven't even come close to keeping up with our population growth. I mean, now we're at 64,000 some people. We, Highway 65 is not equipped to handle that, not even a little. And I just went to a meeting with the engineers who are running the Highway 65 study that started last year. So they gave us a little update on what's going on. So I thought I'd share what we talked about with you so you can, know what's going on, because Highway 65's number one issue for us in Blaine here, and it's got to get fixed. And we went over four different types of new intersections. We did briefly discuss traditional interchanges, like at 125th and 65, with the ramps and everything. We understand how those work and ballpark how much those cost, which is a whole lot. But we talked about some new concepts that they think will be good, and some I think aren't particularly good. But I'll let you judge for yourself and see what you think. First, we have displaced left turns. So here's a little illustration for you. This lets left turning traffic crosses ahead of the light so that when the light does turn green, traffic on Highway 65 can continue moving while people are turning left to get off of it. Now this is good because it eliminates a left turn signal, which that's a big reason what jams up Highway 65 is every light has going straight, then turning left, then the other side turns left, then the cross traffic goes straight, and then the cross traffic turns left. It's just a whole lot of signals that have to change, and it just destroys traffic flow. So without the left turn signal, that means more cars can go through. But this solution isn't particularly compact. It takes up quite a bit of space, and it can be pretty confusing, especially the first couple of times you use it. So, I mean, there's pros and cons. It's likely an improvement over what we have now, because right now it's just an unmitigated disaster, but it's not perfect. Next, we have median U-turns at grade. And this allows left-turning traffic to use a special U-turn lane in the median, and then they coordinate the traffic lights so that they can keep traffic moving while people who otherwise would have been turning left can take the UE and then take a right instead of a left. Now, this is similar to what they have up by Viking Boulevard, and it's been a big problem for semi-trucks, and that's an issue is, well, we need it wide enough for semis to work, but also the wider it gets, the more expensive it gets. And the reason we don't just do, make it a freeway and all traditional interchanges is, well, it's too big and we can't buy that much land and bulldoze that many houses or stores or whatever we have to do. So this isn't an option that I like personally, but it is one of the options that we discussed. Next, we have grade separated median U-turns. Now these are my personal favorite, but you can take that for what it's worth. I don't have an engineering degree, but this makes most sense to me. So this puts one-way frontage roads on each side of Highway 65, and they basically act like on and off ramps. So that if you want to turn right, you can take the exit here, and then you take a UE, and Highway 65 goes over this portion, so there's no stopping traffic, and you can come off Highway 65 and get on your way. And the best part of this is it completely eliminates the traffic signal, which is desperately needed all over Highway 65, and it's very compact. Everything's very tight together. The U-turns are under the road, which saves even more space. I think it's the best option. The biggest negative is the cross street has a bit of a roundabout way to go get across Highway 65, but I mean they can still do it and they don't have to run into a light going across 65, so it's definitely worth it. And the U-turns can be difficult for semis, but because it goes under Highway 65, we have a lot of space to make it right, and I think this is the best option. Lastly, we have the Bowtie intersection. This eliminates left turns by sending left-turning traffic to use roundabouts on the cross street. So you'd come up to the light at 65, you'd take a right, and then you'd whip around the roundabout to get back to 65, and then you head straight across. Now, it's good that it eliminates left turn signal because that's a big problem with all the lights on Highway 65, and that will help traffic flow by getting rid of that. But this isn't a particularly compact intersection, and I mean semis can have trouble with roundabouts, and there's plenty of people who hate roundabouts on principle as well. So this is not a perfect solution either. But these are the four different types of intersections we talked about. And then they're also considering traditional options like interchange at 125th. These are just the new ones that take some explaining, and it'll take a lot, I mean, a lot of getting used to if we do end up building any of these. Let me know what your favorite option is in the comments below and why you think it's the best option. It's valuable to get this kind of feedback so we can actually build what the people actually want rather than what some engineer somewhere wants. But it'll be a while before construction starts. But I'm incredibly excited. We're finally to this point. I mean, we've all been waiting for so long. But let me know if you have any questions. If I can't answer your questions for you, I should be able to find somebody who can. And I'll keep you posted as the project moves forward. So thanks for listening.